Hey friends, it's Darlene. Welcome to my journey on the road to recovery. What am I recovering from? Well, I'm actually recovering myself, my personhood, my mental clarity, my emotional health, my physical health, and well-being. I am being open about things that I have been going through over the last, 15, 20 years probably, as I am discovering things about myself, things about, what emotional abuse is, what spiritual abuse is, and discovering things about my body that I am experiencing, feeling as a result of, chronic stress. Because of all that emotional stress shows up in physical ways in your body. And there have been, over the last decade at least, several visits to my doctor and lots of different tests because, I thought there was something wrong with me. And, I thought I had the problems and everything was, if something's not going right, then I must be doing something wrong. And that is a pattern of thinking that I have discovered about myself that is not healthy. It is not correct because it's not always my fault. Sometimes there are things that you can't control in your life, and then there are things that you just don't understand. Maybe you have blinders on, maybe you have scales over your eyes, maybe your thinking patterns are broken, and you get yourself into a situation that until you get away from it, until the scales come off and the blinders come off, you won't see what you are going through. And hopefully at this point in my life, I will have found out soon enough that there isn't permanent damage, or where it's going to take me the second half of my life to try to repair because now I'm fighting, time and, I'm fighting aging and things like that. So this is, I guess, a journey to discovery. And that was the whole reason why I started the Recycled Mom. I wish I could say it was a movement, but I started a channel on YouTube and put a group together on Facebook that was a private group for women like me who have lost their identity over the years for various reasons, marriage, motherhood, different seasons of life. We tend to lose sight of who we once were. We may have kind of given it all away for whatever reasons. And so that's how this journey started. In my last video, I was talking about visiting my doctor again and trying to figure out why I feel so bad all the time. And in the last year, I have discovered many things about how there's a book I read called The Body Keeps the Score, and another book called In Sickness and in Health, how an emotionally destructive marriage can wreak havoc on your body. And it's not just a marriage, these are relationships. So I should say emotionally destructive relationships, toxic relationships. And if you're dealing this on a chronic level, it's going to wreak havoc on your body as well. It will show up in all these symptoms that are a lot of mysterious symptoms and a lot of ways that your body is trying to help itself. So what I have this week, I started trying to keep track of everything. It's a big deal. I get overwhelmed trying to keep track of everything. So I made a chart, and it's basically this, where I have all of these things that I'm keeping track of every week. I'm tracking weight and pain, and these two things are at the top, obviously, because they're big concerns for me. I have had a lot of weight gain. I had lost 40 some pounds, 2019 going into 2020. And then I gained it all back. And this has been a pattern. When I visited my doctor, it's been a pattern of my weight is going up and down and up and down and up and down. I want to know why it keeps coming back. I lose it and then it keeps coming back. Yes, I know a lot of it is diet, but then there are times where the dieting has been where I'm doing really good and I hardly lose anything, like maybe half a pound. I'm keeping track of my pain. I have different, pain points. In my last video, I described that, where the pain is moving around in my body, and I'm keeping track of where that is, how painful is it, how much medication do I need to take. So also to help with that, I am doing DDPY. You might have saw a clip in that in the last video. That's DDP Yoga. Diamond Dallas Page. If you're a WWE fan of wrestling, you might know who he is. And I did the Bedflex 1 this whole last week. And then yesterday I started Bedflex 2. So I'm ready to move on to the next level. And then the days that I couldn't fit a video in, I did some walking. And again, I am not a power walker by any means. I cannot move very fast, but I was able to get out, and I went downtown and walked around there while my daughter was in dance class. So I took some pictures. And then some other things that I'm tracking are supplements. I do have a Thyroid Support supplement that I am taking twice a day. And I like this because before I found this supplement, I was taking several little things. I had this pill case just full of supplements to take, and I just got tired of taking supplements all day long. This one happened to combine a lot, so I was able to do, kill many birds with one stone. So I'm happy about that. I take vitamin C and also Spirulina, which is to help cleanse your liver. So I highly recommend that for everyone. Right now I'm taking 2 tablets a day. You're supposed to take up to 6, so I'm working my way up to that. So I'm charting my progress, okay? I'm charting my progress through all of this. The other things I'm keeping track of water. So here is this lovely water bottle that I got from Pampered Chef, and it has a pop-up straw that you can use, but you can also pop this up and just drink from it straight that way. All right, so you have a couple options, which I thought was really cool. What I really love about it is this little separator right here. And it looks like a filter or a strainer. And what you can do is infuse your water. So I put cucumbers and lemon in here in the bottom, and then I'm able to, I drink from the bottom, so I'm getting infused water. You can also put things here in the top as well. I recommend this to everyone. It is 20 ounces. So I've been getting in about 4 of these a day. And because I can infuse my water, I'm able to drink more water because this makes it taste better, right? So anyway, there's that product placement. The other thing I'm keeping track of is my progress in the Conquer program. I talked to you in the last video. I talked about the Conquer program, which is the coaching counseling group that I'm in with Leslie Vernick. And I went through the first module this week. I went through 2 group calls. I was able to get those, and we have those every week. And then I'm keeping track of my devotion and prayer time, that I'm actually doing it, trying to stay consistent. I'm using the YouVersion Bible app on my phone. So if you like to do that kind of thing, download the YouVersion Bible app. There's several versions of the Bible inside that you can download. I also like that it has guided reading plans for the Bible. You have devotional plans. They're themed. Some are just taking you through maybe a book or a topic. So I really like that. I suggest that to everyone. It has lots of things, even have stuff for kids. So the good news is this last week, since I have started with something that I knew I could just start right away with, was getting rid of added sugars, no snacks, no cookies, no of all the good stuff. And so by doing that, I lost 4 pounds this last week. I was pushing the water, eating lots of vegetables and lean meat. So I had like chicken and fish. And it's just being a little bit more mindful of why I am going for the sugary things, which is usually later in the afternoon, and asking myself, why am I going for this chocolate right now? Why do I want to have these cookies right now? Is there a reason behind it? Or do I just really, I just want to have a cookie, or is it because there's something else going on? Am I emotionally upset right now? And I feel like I want to, feed my emotions. Cause I do that. I'm an emotional eater. So if I'm following any kind of a diet plan, that's pretty much it right now, is just making sure that I'm not having the added sugars, and I'm increasing water and the vegetables and lean meat. So, and fruit. I've had fruit as well. Oh, goodness. So I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rambling. I get so self-conscious in these videos about what to do, about sharing, um, my journey. But this is one way of me to keep track of, just to be able to see everything. Like, how you doing this week, Darlene? Are you missing these things? Right now, I'm looking at maybe adding some other things to it to keep track of. But I do journal a lot. So that's part of my devotions and prayer time. Getting my feelings out on paper and doing that. And also the Conquer group has helped, just knowing that, I have someone and other women that get it. And speaking of that, this week I was able to connect with a friend who we've known each other for the past 20 years. 26 years. And over time, sometimes everybody gets busy and everything. We just kind of have, lost touch and stuff. And here recently, we just happened to connect over something again. And I think she noticed some of my personality or behavior, something had changed. And when I actually had opened up to her and started telling her some of these things, I knew she would understand and that she would get it. She would get me, right? But I never reached out to her. I was afraid of afraid of reactions, because over the years I have shared things that I have been going through and experiencing, and it has never gone well, and not through marriage counseling or just sharing with other people that I thought I could, that would be a help, and it didn't turn out well. And I keep getting where I have to keep explaining things over and over again. People just are unwilling to go down this road of emotional abuse, neglect, things like this, because it's very messy and people don't really understand how to react when someone is coming out of a destructive relationship, a toxic relationship, and even abusive relationship. So abuse is not always, someone, physically, hitting you, slapping you, things like that. It's very much words, actions, intimidation, manipulation, things like that, that where one person is using their power, their influence, position, even to power over another person. If you haven't, I suggest you watch my video on what is spiritual abuse. I explain a lot of that, because it happens in the churches, and it's reinforced in the homes, a lot of Christian homes especially. And I want to thank you for watching this far. Thank you for your support and your love and your prayers. I really do appreciate every one of you that chimes in, that comments and leaves messages of support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So until next week, I wish you peace, love, and healing.